Hello everyone, welcome to the video where I will show you how to solve the SWE assignment number 2. So as you can see, I've already logged into e-learning. This is the homework. You go to software engineering, you go to computer lab, whichever is your lab, and you will have the homework assignment number 2. Now the preparation step, you should already have done it. If you didn't, just refer to my previous video. I should have uploaded it by now. If I didn't remind me, I might have forgotten. But yeah, you should be done by here. Now, here it says accepting the assignment in the GitHub Classroom. You can click here to get your own copy of the repository. So I'll open it right now. I already accepted it, so it just redirects me to my copy. Actually, no, this is the original, and you're supposed to get your copy by clicking this link. Yeah, just checking if it's recording. Okay, so you have this repository over here, right? And you click it. It will take you to your copy of this repository. Now, before I start doing this, you should already have Git. Let me just check which commit this is. Yeah, I have no idea what that branch is. Okay, so yeah, so this is your copy of the repository, right? Here. Now what you do is you need to have Git bash installed already. If you don't have Git or Git bash, just refer to the previous video. But you should also have IntelliJ IDEA, and also you should have Node. So go to Google, type install Node, and go here, download Node.js. Now if you don't know what Node is, it lets you run JavaScript without using an HTML document. And we will need JavaScript because they are using a package called Git Cliff, I think. So yeah, just go there. If you're on Windows, ignore this. Go here, get a pre-built node.js for Windows running an x64. Just click Windows installer and then go through the steps of installing it. Once you're done with installing Node, you come back here. Actually, let me open the homework page. So once you're done with the repository thing, it says make a clone of your GitHub Classroom repository. Now I know what some people will try to do is they will go to IntelliJ IDEA and they will go here, clone repository, and they'll post it here, but it's not a good idea, it will fail. So what you should do is create a folder in your documents called software development technologies or assignments or whatever, and you click it. Now here you should right click, open in terminal, or if you're on Mac you could change cd, change the directory, get into this folder. Then when you open it in terminal, I have a git bash open right here. If you're on MacBook or Linux, you don't need git bash. All you need is your own terminal and it should work. So the command it says is git clone your repository URL. So you go to here code, HTTPS, copy the URL, go to the terminal, just make sure it's in the correct folder, then git clone and you paste your URL. Okay, it cloned. Now if you go to the folder, you'll see there's a folder over there. Now you want to open this folder in IntelliJ IDEA. So you could right click and open as IntelliJ IDEA project, or you could even do this. So first you go into that folder, like you could open it anyway, by the way. I think even you could go into IntelliJ IDEA and open project and choose that folder. But my favorite way is to just type IDEA. If you type IDEA, it will open IntelliJ IDEA. IDEA, first you have to go to that directory. So you do change directory, and put the name of that directory. Now you're in that directory. Then you do idea and dot. Open this current directory with IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, it's just configuring some stuff. Okay, the cloning process is done. Now we go back to the steps. Okay, so here, cloning is done. Making changes in your clone. It says in the clone, perform the workflow steps described in the working with Git and Javadoc document. So this will be the instructions you have to follow. Now, first it says install GitCliff. It says install GitCliff, a changelog generator that creates changelog files like this from the version history. They're just talking about the features of GitCliff. Here is the important part. It says npm is part of Node.js. So once you have installed Node, you will already have the npm command. You can see if I type npm, I'll have to create a new terminal though, because that one is busy. But if I type npm, you can tell the command is installed. So npm is called the Node package manager. It's used to install Node packages. npx is used for executing Node commands, just for future reference. So it says after installing Node.js, GitCliff can be run with npx gitcliff. Now they're not telling you to run the command, they're telling you that it can be run like this. So somebody asked in the group, this is your answer. You shouldn't run it here, they're just telling you how to run it. Now this is where you start working with tags. So git log, it will show you the commits that you have made if you want me to test it. By the way, in IntelliJ IDEA, you can go here, terminal, and you can type the commands here. So git log one line all graph. It will show you the commits that have been made. It's very useful. So you can see the commits initialize JDK 17, initial commit, add deadline. So this is where one of the trickiest things one of the trickiest things happens is you will see that each commit has a different ID, and some people, they will just name it like this. So let me keep it side by side. So they want you to tag the the initial commit. So they want you to find the commit which has the message initial commit, and they want you to give it this tag based on its checksum. So checksum is unique for each commit. So you can see that the initial commit in the example has the checksum EC1B55B, but if you look at my initial commit, it has 5EE4F29. So that's where they get you. So what I'll do is I'll copy this command, I'll go to the terminal, I'll paste it. It messed up the pasting. Okay, so I paste it, I erase their checksum, and I write the checksum of my own initial commit, which is 5EE4F29. Done. So that's the first step done. See, it says note that your checksums are different, thus you must use your actual checksum for the commit instead of this. So I have a feeling that he was going to fail a couple of people based on this. So the git tag command lists all the existing tags. You don't have to run it, I'll run it just to show you. See the command that I just added, and you can do this git show v1, it will show the tag, but you can already see it, so I don't need to waste time with it. Now it says let's add a new feature here. Let's add a new feature to the project by adding a new method to the nationality class to carry the most likely country of origin. First, add the following imports to the nationality class. Okay, so we go here. Where is nationality? Source, nationality. So in the nationality, by the way, I don't know if it's a mistake or not. It's a record, not a class, but you can see the imports. It doesn't import these, so just copy these. proxy and add it to the imports. Then add the following method to the nationality class. Okay, copy this and put it under this method. Done. Compile the project with maven compile to check whether the changes are correct. Now this is another area where I see some people being confused, because if you go to the terminal and you type mvn compile, it will tell you maven command not found. That is because maven's functionality comes integrated with the IntelliJ IDEA IDE. So you see this sidebar on the side, notifications, AI assistant, database, and maven. So you click on maven, you click on the side, and lifecycle has all the commands that you could need in the commands that the professor gives in his GitHub descriptions. So maven compile, but it has, even that is unnecessary. You don't really need that. But you know what, double click it and it will compile. And build success. Build success means that there were no compilation errors. If, for example, instead of return I do return, it's an error. I try to compile it, it should not build. See, it did not build. So I have to fix my mistake. I have to compile again, and it compiles, which means that if yes, commit the changes with this command. So we go back to the terminal, we copy this command, we paste it, and done. Okay, that commit has been made. Let us prepare the next version on the master branch. We will label the last commit of the master branch. The version number assigned to the most recent commit should be 1.1.0 to comply with the semantic versioning. Since a new feature is added in a backward compatible manner, the minor version must be incremented. So create an annotated tag and examine it with this. So since we just made a commit, we copy this command and paste it. And then we can see it by pasting git show. It will show us the commit, and yeah, you can see it. Feature, add the get most likely country method in nationality, which is the commit we made. So push the commits. By the way, if you're stuck in that mode, like when I was scrolling down, then just press Q and you will quit. Push the commits and also the tags created to GitHub. So first you push your changes by typing git push. Okay, you're done. Then you type git push -- tags, which will push the tags that you created. Done. Now it's the second step, working with Javadoc. Now here you work with the pom.xml file, and let me just explain the pom.xml file real quick. So if any of you have done HTML, you know that pom.xml file, HTML has a hierarchy. There's for example, a header element here, and then there's different elements inside the header element. For example, these are children of the developer element, which is a child of the developers element. So you can see that the main sections are developer, and actually this is something I need to change. It's a good thing I noticed it. Properties, dependencies, there's plugins, and there is reporting, here reporting. So let me just go through this real quick. I actually explain how to do it here in the, like, let's see, this is Git. Okay, because I already configured GitHub, but I didn't put my developer name here. I don't know if I should, because if anybody remembers in the last assignment, he made us put our names here. So you know what, just to be safe, put your names here. So ID would be, I suppose, your Neptune ID. Mine is AC2T4G. AC to T4G. My name is not Peter Yasinski. My email is I'm giving my uni email so I don't get doxxed. Organization is this. Yep. Okay. So you know the structure of the pom.xml file now. So working with Javadoc, let's add Javadoc Comments. Javadoc is a plugin and we add it to the source code. As the first step in the pom.xml file, add this element. Now what some people might do is they see plugin and they paste it in this section, build plugins, and that will result in you failing. Well, I hope not failing, but deduction. So project reporting. So we are already in the project. See this the father of all element is project. Okay, so reporting, we scroll until we find reporting plugins. So this plugin has to be added to this section. So here we add it, plugin. Generate the website of the project with Maven site. So before you do that, you of course, whenever you make a change to pom.xml, you see this symbol in the corner with the M, you have to click it. It will deal with the dependency related problems. It will deal with the dependencies. Now Maven site, you already know a command named Maven. You have to go to the right menu and you click on site. It should take some time. I don't know, it shouldn't take that long, but it does take a decent amount of time. It should generate a whole website with documentation for your project. So build success. The resulting website can be found in target. So if you go here, target, site, and if you click index.html, well, index.html is over here, but let me try opening it in a browser. Here, you can see if you open the index.html file in a browser, just ignore this is the source code. So it will generate this. Sorry, I have the default, my eyes. But yeah, it will generate this, and you can see that you have the dependencies, everything you're using, the coordinates, about, the team, which I guess, see, developer, it's your name and email and everything, project reports, and a lot of this stuff. I haven't really used it. Professor, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I have failed you. I have never generated documentation really. I just use the Javadoc strings. But you have your documentation over here. So it works. Open and view the index.html we did. Generated Javadoc documentation can be found under project reports. Yep. Commit the changes in the current repository with, okay, commit command. We'll do that. Go to terminal. Paste it. Done. Now, this is where the POM XML trickery starts. And for example, here it says, to ensure that the same version number is used for both the fiend dependency. By the way, to make the GET requests, we don't want to do it manually, trust me. Java is very bad. So what we do is we use a dependency called OpenFiend. And it's a really good dependency. I use it myself when creating backends in Spring Boot. And I don't want to use the whole, big dependency. But anyway. So in the POM XML file, add this element into the project/properties element. So we have the project, properties, we found the properties. So we add this into the properties element. So we go here, or I guess all the way to the bottom. You can do it. I don't think it matters what order you put it in. So just put it here. And of course, whenever you make a change, well, right now, just wait, don't click the M yet. You can, of course, but it would be, you just be wasting time. Properties. Okay, so In the project dependencies element, let's use the version property to provide the version number of the fiend. Fiend is the dependency, JSON dependency. In effect, change this element into this. So some people might be confused and they might paste this and they would be confused. So remember that you're changing this to this. So first we go to project slash dependencies, project slash dependencies. We have fiend over here. Version, we found version. We have to change 13.5 to this variable. Now, if you get confused easily, just copy the whole line, Control C. You go to the version, you copy this whole line and you replace it. Of course, in my case, it kind of messed it up. It brought the scope up, so I'll just press enter and it should work again. So this is done. Similarly, change the link attribute into this in the configuration element of the Maven Javadoc plugin. So see how he didn't mention which section it is? It's because he wants you to look around yourself. So, look around the document, make the professor proud. I'll do that. So configuration element of the Maven Javadoc plugin. So if you remember, we added the Javadoc plugin into the reporting section here. Here, Maven Javadoc plugin and link. So we have to change this javadoc.io fiendcore. Okay, so what we have to change is not the whole URL, but see the version, this section, that's what we have to change. But like I said, I don't want you guys getting confused. Just copy the whole line, select this whole line, replace. But again, you'll have to press enter. For some reason, I think it erases the enter at the end. But yeah, it should work now. In the configuration element, commit the changes in the repository. Okay, press the N thing. It should resolve the dependencies. If you want, you could compile it. Okay, it works. I will run Maven site as well because I'm paranoid. I don't trust technology. Done. Build success. That means we can proceed with the git commit. Build, add and use. Well, it's irrelevant. Just paste it. Add Javadoc comments. Now this is another big section of the video. Add Javadoc comments to the source files under the source main Java nationalized folder. So in the source main Java nationalize, there's 3 files in this folder. There's main, there's nationality, and there's nationalized client. I opened all 3 of them so I can close this menu. Now it says add Javadoc comments to all those source files. So what I'll do is I'll maximize this window. I'll put the pom.xml all the way there. So we have main, we have nationality, and we have nationalized client. So normally what you should do is you should start with the smallest entity. So since nationality is the smallest class here, smallest as in nationalized client is probably using nationality. See, get here, it's using nationality. So start with nationality. Now, what is a Javadoc doc string? A doc string gives information on what a class or method or field or whatever does. It's very useful for generating documentation. How do you start a Javadoc string? You type a slash and you type 2 stars and you press enter. That's all. It will generate a string. The first line will be, what is this record? So a record is basically a class for the people who didn't know. It's a class that comes with getters and setters by default. There's more stuff, but this is the only thing you need to know right now. What is the nationality? So what is our application doing? It sends a username and the API will return a list of countries with the probability of my name, your name being from that country. For example, if you put my name, Fahad, my name is an Arabic origin name, so it will say that the most likely country is Kuwait. Kuwait, followed by Saudi Arabia, followed by Pakistan. So what does nationality represent? You can see that nationality has some parameters. I think the best thing to do would be to run the application once so you can see what the output is. So you can see in main, it creates the nationalized client. It takes like an argument from the command line and it will print the results. So if I try to run main right now, it will give an error. See, usage, we have to give it a command line argument, run with parameters. By the way, you don't have to do this, I'm just testing this. So in the argument, I'll give it my name, Fahad, run. You can see nationality, count. So what is count? I feel like count is the amount of Fahads that are in the database because it is a relatively common name. I think the king of Saudi Arabia was named Fahad, Shah Fahad. Also, one of the doors of the the Haram Masjid in Mecca, it's also named, I think, Babul Fahad. But yeah, that's actually what I'm named after. But Fahad is a very common name. So country, there's Kuwait with the highest probability, which is why if you go to the application, it will say Kuwait. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. So now you have an idea of what this class does. And you might be thinking, why am I yapping and explaining how the application works? You just want to get the homework done. But I have a feeling in the exam, he will ask you to write doc strings. So in order to write a doc string, at first I was just writing the doc strings by myself when I tried the homework, but you have to understand how it works. So now you know that this record represents a result. So you say a record that represents the result of the nationalized API. So the first parameter is count. Count will be the number of people with this name in the database, and name will be the given name that is passed into the API. Countries. Now, if you look at countries, it's a list of country objects. What is a country object? It's a record that is inside the main record. So the country object represents a country ID, which is unique to every country. I suppose country ID would be here. Kuwait has KW, Saudi Arabia has SA, and Pakistan has PK. BD is, I think, Bangladesh, BH is Bahrain. But yeah, each country has a country ID, and the probability is, I suppose, the probability of you being from that country. So we can do name, the given name that is passed into the API, countries, a list of country records that the given name may be from. You might be from Kuwait, you might be from Pakistan, stuff like that. So public record country. So they want you to generate a doc string for all the entities, right? So you should generate a doc string for this as well. So what is this? A record that represents the result. Well, not the result, sorry, I'm just copying. A record that represents a country, possible countries. The first parameter will be the country ID, and ID that uniquely, because you'll see the ID is uniquely representing each country. So an ID that uniquely identifies each country. Probability, the probability that the given name okay, that's all. Now this method, we also have to write a docstring for the method. So what does the method do? It gets the most likely country. So it goes through the list of the countries. For example, for me, it's Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. it will see that whichever country has the highest probability, which is Kuwait, it will return that country. So returns the country method that finds the country that the given name most likely belongs to. And what does it return? Well, I'll just copy it because I'm lazy. Boom. So that's enough doc strings for the nationality class, nationalize client. So to describe the interface would be interface that describes the that will make the requests. So this client will make the requests to the API. So this is a method that returns a new instance of this client. So returns what does it return? Returns a new instance of the client. Done. So that's enough doc strings for this class. Main is rather easy. You don't have to annotate the class main because it's self-explanatory. So what does the main function do? If you look at it, it creates a client. It sends a request to the client, to the API, and it prints out the results. So what you will do is uses the client to make a request to the API and then prints the result. What is the parameter? Parameter is the given name provided. It's provided as a command line parameter. So that's it for the doc strings. Now we can get back to committing. Add Javadoc comments to the source files under this folder. Yeah, we did that. Commit the changes in a single commit with this. Go to the terminal. Note that this class is rendered as, well, it's just a note. It's, something nice to know, but it's not relevant. In the source main Java nationalized folder here, create a file named packageinfo.java. So new file, well, they do give you an option there. I think it's safe to just use that option. So you go here, new, and in new it should say packageinfo.java. So you don't even have to type it. And here, so when this asks it, right, do you want to add the following file to Git? You see what they're doing here? Git add this file. This is basically what this will do. It will add that file. So I guess for the sake of the project, you can see if you choose cancel, you can still add it later manually. That's what we'll do. So cancel. Don't add it to the Git repository right now. We'll do it in just a second. So you create this file and with the following content. So you copy the whole thing and you paste it here. Done. Then regenerate the project website, Maven site, and view the generated Javadoc. So you go to Maven, the site, and you double click site. Okay, so it generated the site. We can go to the index file again. Well, I'm too lazy to do that. If you want, you can look at it yourself. Okay, so git add. Now we add that file to the repository. So you go to the terminal again. Done. Git commit. Commit all these files that we have changed. Done. let's add syntax highlighting to code snippets to give a more fancy look and feel to the generated API documentation. Now, right now the API documentation, actually, since we are nearly done, I'll just show you. Why not? Learning experience. So you go index.html. By the way, if you are watching this and you have no interest in this, just watch this section on 2x speed or something. I don't know. Open in browser Firefox. So I think you go here, Javadoc. So I think this is the place. So you can see that if I go to my class, they don't have code snippets, right? And they don't have any syntax highlighting. I think that's what it's supposed to change if I use that. But anyway, I'll show you how to use the library. So it tells you we will use the Prism JavaScript library because this documentation is made in HTML, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So okay, the files can be downloaded from here. Check the checkbox for Java under languages, and then at the bottom of the page, this. So I'll show you the steps. So first you go to this link, Prism. It's a very slow website. I don't know why. I think it might be because of my plugin. No, it's just slow. If you become a web developer, don't do this. Well, no. I bet these guys are better than I ever will be. But yeah, it's very slow. So what you're supposed to do is check Java. So A B C D F G H I J J J H I J Java. I'm surprised they chose Java and not Javadoc, but whatever the professor says. At the bottom of the page, here, download JS and download CSS. Download JS and download CSS. So both of them will be downloaded to your folder. Now what you have to do is create a directory named Javadoc in the project's source/main directory. So we go to the project, we go source, main, and we have to create Javadoc in main. So new directory, and we name it Javadoc, enter. Move the prism.css and prism.js files into the projects like that directory. So let me see if I can just do this. Yes, I can. So I'll move this file. By the way, here again, it asks you to add it. Usually when you're developing an application, you should always choose add. Well, not always, in case it's something you don't want to show on your repository, but it's convenient. But since the professor is giving these commands here, I won't. Cancel. So we copied the prism.css and we copied the prism.js. Cancel again. So now we have a JS and CSS file over here. Copied. Finally, add the following configuration parameters into the configuration element of the Maven Javadoc plugin in the reporting section of pom.xml. So again, he's doing that hierarchy thing. So configuration, so you start here, reporting section. So you know how in English you have passive speech and active speech? You go like Fahad ate an apple, or you could say an apple was eaten by Fahad. It's like that. If he says this, you start from here. Like Fahad ate an apple, but Fahad is at the bottom, like at the last of the sentence. So reporting, you find the reporting, okay, reporting is here. Of the Maven Javadoc plugin, okay, this is the Maven Javadoc plugin. And the configuration element here, okay. Add this into the configuration element, okay. So you copy this and you paste it into the configuration element here. regenerate the project website. So we go Maven, we go site. It should build successfully. No, it does not. Okay, now we investigate. So it's saying that prism.js is not found, which is interesting. Let's just look at the paths. Well, let's see what this is. The quotation marks around the file path were added to prevent an error that can occur when the Javadoc tool is invoked. Students reported that the Javadoc tool fails with an error when the directory path of the project contains spaces. The problem does not occur when the file path of prism.js is provided between quotation marks. But it's telling me that it wasn't able to find the file. Source main. It's supposed to be this, right? Source main Javadoc prism.js. This is prism.js. Let me try something. Remove the quotation marks and see if that works. Illegal package name. Okay. Well, at least there's progress. Let me put the quotation marks back and do the thing again. And let me just save it as well, just in case it didn't save. And if that fails, I'm asking ChatGPT. File not found. Yeah, I think so. It's because my folder name is software development technologies, and that folder has spaces in it, which might be the problem here. But we did add the quotation marks, which is supposed to fix it. But you know what I'm gonna do? Control A, Control C, go to my boy ChatGPT, paste it. Okay, I'm getting this error, paste this. Control C. Well, I can't read it, but I think ChatGPT can. Good luck, ChatGPT. Yes, it exists. Excuse me. There might be an issue with how the file path is written. Try modifying it to this. Okay, you know what? Let's try it. Why not? try that. Because this is a very minor problem, by the way, because the file is right there. So the file is there, and if it's not able to find it, then we just need to keep debugging it. If you're you don't want to see how somebody debugs something, you could just skip it until you find until you know yeah, I'm sure in the future, in like a couple minutes, I will have found the solution, so you could skip to future Fahad and he will have solved it. Okay, let's see. Name site. Because bro, it's right there. Prism.js. You know what? Let me go to the source main Javadoc Prism.js. It's right there. What is this gaslighting? I'm gonna go to downloads, open a new window. I'm gonna have prism.js. I downloaded it. Should be somewhere here. It's not. That's interesting. File moved or missing. So what I'll do is I will download these again and copy this prism.js file and then manually go to the folder. There. It should work now. Let's see. No. Yeah, maybe the professor is using Linux because he is a hardcore web developer. So if he's using Linux, that would mean, uh, you know, I have to do this. But thing is, I want to take the safe route here, and I will copy what the professor told us to copy. So I will just copy this. It's not running on Windows, but thing is, I think that the script he uses to check his code, that might run on a Linux platform, and in which case, you know, it's over for us, because then it's not going to work on his device, and it's more important for it to work on his device than for it to work on our device. So yeah, okay, I'll move on. Students reported at Javadoc. Yeah, I can see that. Still fails. I'm not blaming the professor, of course. Java is just bad, and I'm the biggest fan of Java. Still bad. Okay, commit the changes. By the way, what this did is it added the pom.xml file to the repository. And it also added the whole Javadoc directory that I just made. It added all the files in it to the repo as well. And then we push it all. Git push. Okay, I'm gonna try and hurry up because I don't want it to be longer than 1 hour. Because when people see 1 hour, they're like, oh, it's like some movie at this point. Okay, working with tags. So again, it's giving a hint that you can use this to see which version, which version should be for the next release. You should do it when working on a real project, but right now, no. Create a new tag. Okay. Paste. Okay, show the tag, log one line. I'm not gonna do that. Just git push this tag. Done. Now we have to go and create releases. So what I'll do now is I will put the git file on, no, the GitHub website on the right side, and I will show you my repository over here. Let me just refresh. So view your repository in the web browser. On the right side of the page, under releases here, under releases, it can be seen that there are 3 tags in the repository. 3 tags. Create a release for each tag. So create a new release. Choose a tag. So first we will start with 1.0.0. Release title. Is it mandatory? Can I just do you have to generate release notes? No. Can I just publish the release? Yes, sir. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm too lazy. Okay, releases. Go back to the release. Well, go back to your repository. Okay, you did that for one release. Then create it for the other tags as well. You go create a new release. We did one, right? Yeah. Now then we go 1.1.1. Publish that. Okay. Now we have like 1.1.0. And then we go to releases again. So now you can see we have 2 releases. Then you draft another release, which will be the latest, which will be 1.1.1, and publish the release. That's all. You go to releases. Now you have it all done. Now you just have to do one last thing. I think it will be done. Yeah, it will be done before 1 hour. So you go to creating a change log. So npx git cliff at latest. Let me just check. Oh, it's still recording. Nice. Okay, so you go back to IntelliJ IDEA. Now this is where Node comes in handy. You know why I made you guys install Node at the start? This is why. So npx executes a Node script. So gitcliff has a script. So if you don't have gitcliff already in your system, you go like npx. Well, you can just copy and paste it. No, am I kidding? Go ahead, paste it. Now, if you don't already have gitcliff, it will tell you that we need to install dependency gitcliff, in which case you just have to press Y and that's all. It will automatically install it and it will do this stuff. What this does is it generates a change log. Generate a change log with this command. So we copy this command and we generate the change log. By the way, don't worry about this warning. So changelog.markdown. So now you should find a file here called changelog.markdown. Now what the last commands do is git add changelog.markdown. You do that, add the changelog to the repository, then you commit this change, and then finally you push your changes. Boom, done. Then you can go to your repository. You are done from IntelliJ's side. Just close it and you go to your repository. You should have it all. I don't think you're supposed to put anything in the README in this assignment. So you can see the latest was docs add changelog.markdown. So yeah, if you look at the changelog, it's this. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the homework. Let me know if there is a problem. I hope not, because yeah, this is annoying. Anyway, see you.